Greetings, Earthlings. Today, we are talking about real, live, mad women.
And we're drinking the Mad Tea Party tea, because we're all mad here.
If you don't already know about Zelda Fitzgerald, you should go ahead and we'll include some links. Do yourself a favor.
Find out.
Look into Tender is the Night and how much of that Scott Fitzgerald actually wrote. His own scholars agree that he stole massive amounts of material from his wife, who he also provoked into actual manic episodes, using her mental illness for his own personal monetary gain. Yeah.
Bitch face. We as a culture are just like, poor Scott, he was just in love.
Bitches be cray!
He was just in love with this crazy woman. And that's the narrative I got when we read. That's like what I've gotten since I was 14.
Yeah, she wasn't jealous. She was angry because he literally stole her work and just changed some pronouns around.
That's how, like, so much of female madness gets framed, especially when it's real. So that the men are the victims of their madness.
Because we're never on the woman's side, we're never in her perspective, we never see the ways in which it's actually incredibly valid. It's not irrational. It is deeply rational anger.
There's real, honest mental illness. But then there's madness, which is used as a tool to control women. Women were diagnosed with hysteria in order to control what men saw as bad behavior. Alice Paul was
Painted
institutionalized
she was
and
just
painted as crazy. Emmeline
Because
Pankhurst,
it's crazy to want the same rights as men.
Zelda Fitzgerald was this woman who did rebel against societal norms. All of these things that if she were a man, we would charge forward with her, but because she has this real diagnosable mental illness that was taken advantage of, she becomes like, see, that's what happens when women have too much freedom, is they go crazy. When mental illness is coupled with real rebellion, so many of those women get taken advantage of, so many of those women get their narration taken away from them.
Catherine the Great was the Empress of Russia.
Yes.
And still happened to her. It still happened to her. We read about crazy Catherine the Great who slept with animals.
So many male rulers, it gets hushed up. George III, he actually caused a war with his madness, right?
Yeah.
But no one goes around and, I heard he fucked a polar bear. Like, what is that? It's always so deeply rooted in the sexual. It's always so deeply rooted in delegitimizing.
First of all, we're dealing with medical records from a time in which they didn't understand.
No,
We're reading, first-hand accounts and like primary sources written by people who have opinions.
Not
People
very
are
modern
like,
opinions.
yeah, but there's actual proof that Catherine slept with a horse or whatever.
But
But
I don't even know how you do that. So
they had
stop
pictures
right
back
there.
then.
Where's the footage?
Yeah.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
We broke Katie.
It also incredibly compounds when you're looking at somebody like Billie Holiday, who is a woman of color, who is an addict, who's deeply depressed, who's dealing with a lot of mental illness that is also similarly taken advantage of.
On top of that, the stigma that like mental illness belongs to white people, we understand white people experiencing that we don't think of people of color experiencing, and we call them criminals or they're addicts before they have mental illness.
But it's even more dangerous too, because the institutionalization is so much higher at that level. It's just so much scarier. And with Billie, as with the other women, you get actual men in their lives using alcohol as a way to control her
them
financially, to be able to exploit her abilities to gain personal money.
Elect, read, and give an army to.
I'd love to read Zelda Fitzgerald if we could have
her
dozens
God.
and dozens and dozens of novels.
Can we have like a phantom edit of Tender is the Night?
Yes.
Like where we remove F. Scott and we like actually see that
Just
from...
see it from her perspective.
Yeah.
Elect Alice Paul.
I would still black Catherine the Great with an army.
I mean, she had
She
one.
had one?
I would still do it. I'd do it again.
I would do it again. I would most... Problematic. I would still do it. I stand behind it, history.
Yeah, good job, history.
Good job. You gave that woman an army.